So how did this come out of the Poverty Commission?
This actually came out, the idea I got from a convention that I had attended and brought it back to Marcus. We went through the Poverty Commission, and although it wasn't a direct initiative from the Poverty Commission, the Bank On initiatives to help people get themselves financially, get their financial house in order, definitely is tied to the Poverty Commission, because we understand that if people are managing their finances, then they are less apt to waste money, and they can identify their spending and savings habits in a manner that will help them to get ahead a lot sooner.
And this is how I'm teasing about being Mrs. Grace, because I'll have the same conversation with my wife. I say, look, we're making this much money, we got this much debt, it ain't gonna change. And she says, it can change.
It can change.
So you brought two guests with you who are gonna tell me how my wife is right. Right?
We're always gonna tell you your wife is right.
Karen Munden, Senior Extension Agent with Family and Consumer Services, Virginia Cooperative Extension.
That's a long title.
It is. Is that all on your card?
Yes,
What do you go by normally?
Karen.
Karen, there we go. And Mark Johnson, when I saw you were coming up, I've made my payment, I promise. Community Development Manager for SunTrust Bank.
Thank you.
Why is it important?
Bank On is important simply because everybody needs to have good financial habits. And a lot of times we find that people do what they know. And if you don't know any better, you can't do better. And your ignorance can cost you. So this particular program is designed to help people to look at what they bring in, look at their spending habits. It also has a matched savings plan, so it's a 10-month program.
It is a 10-month program.
And if the individual participant completes the 10 months and they save their $150, then they will get $150 as a gift/grant from the Bank On program.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm excited about the Bank On program because in this area, Hampton Roads area, is very different than across the United States. United States, you get a product, banking product, and you go on about your business. We're talking about education. It's better to teach someone how to use their money and really take an analytical look at themselves, because we could be sisters. I might be the saver and she may be the spender.
And I am the spender. She got that right.
I wasn't going to say that.
We are both so right. And the thing about it, we could have the same parents, came up in the same household, but there's something different how both of us react to money, how we spend money. So with the 10-month program, we actually start from the very basics all the way up to every principle of money habits, money spending, how you save it, how you react to it. So it's not just we're giving you product and you're going. Also in the Bank On, you get a financial coach. That person helps you accountable, but you're the one that's going to have to do the work. Looking at the both of us, she's the smaller one, I am the larger one. She needs to say, you can do it, you can do it, you can climb that mountain, you can do that extra push-up.
So it's kind of like an accountability coach.
It is, it is. And we consider it as like a financial makeover. So no matter where you are in your finances, by the end of the 10 months, you should know a lot more. And I consider people the CEOs and the accountants and the business person of their own finances.
So is that accountability coach going to tell me not to buy that coffee at 7-Eleven?
What they're going to do is to show you the pros and cons. You're going to have to be the person to make the decision, because even if I tell you not to do it, you're going to do it even no matter what I tell you. But you're going to be educated to know that you should not and put it into savings.
Well, it's funny because I mentioned in pre-talk, I have a daughter who's married to a Navy guy, and he kind of extended his paydays through one of these cash places. When they got married, that stopped immediately. And he was put on not just a budget, but it was a diet.
Okay.
And I'm happy to announce they bought a very expensive vehicle at Christmas time. I did not recommend it, and I didn't have to sign the loan. So there is payoff. But does it have to be painful?
No.
It doesn't. I mean, I think the biggest thing when you start talking about, do I buy the $1.98 latte, or do I buy this or buy that? I am a shopper, and I can tell you from experience, when you start to look at your money and you start to look at the amount of money that you spend on certain things, it's a state of awareness that you go. I've gone into stores, I mean, recently, and I'll pick up something. This is on sale. Oh, I like that suit.
Now, who's your accountability coach?
thing. It's in my head now, and I'll get to the cash register and go, you know what? I don't need any of this, and leave it there, because it is a state of awareness instead of spending because you have the money to spend. It is a state of awareness. And so people use money for a lot of different things. They may use, they use shopping, they use eating, they use all kinds of things to deal with other issues. But when you start looking at your money and taking ownership of your financial habits, then it is a state of awareness that says, I can do better. And anybody can do better if they put their mind to it.
Okay, now here's one. All these ads on furniture, free, 36 months, same as cash. I go into the living room and say, you know what? You're looking at me like I shouldn't do that.
Well, I think it's a part of wants versus needs, savings versus spending. What is the value? SunTrust is a purpose-driven organization. As a part of that, one of the things we try to do is provide tools and resources for people to have in terms of making a decision with regards to, is it something I can save for and then spend down the road? Is it a value to be able to get this particular item right now versus maybe 3 to 4 months or 3 to 4 years from now? Because what we're talking about are generations of individuals and families that may not have been exposed to savings and spendings and spending money. And so what you see here is a partnership where everybody is bringing experiences to the table and utilizing the best in terms of tools, techniques, and resources to help people do what? Make choices on making the right choice and trying to live a life that has a better quality of life than they may have in the past.
So get that emotion out of the table.
Yes.
Now
Very
SunTrust has a, I mean, you put your money where your mouth is on this program.
Very
Why?
much so. We've partnered, and there's, we go from Florida up to, in terms of a geographic area, into Maryland. So there are many of our particular geographic areas that are partners and investors and bank-ons in the different communities in the Southeast up towards the Mid-Atlantic. So it's a part of here. We partnered with the city of Norfolk and Virginia Beach in terms of providing match savings for those individuals that when they do save and they're disciplined, there's dollars there to help them match as an incentive to continue to keep on saving money.
Karen, I sent you to be the more gentle one here, so I'm going to ask you this question. I'm in a stage of life where I didn't make some decisions way back when. It's too late now for me to make changes.
I say it's too late.
I
when
knew
you're
she was going to tell me.
I say it's too late when you're 6 feet under. If you're not 6 feet under, it's not too late. One of the things that in this area, the teachers as well as some of the coaches have gone through bank-on classes. So they have first-hand knowledge. So when they're teaching or they're coaching, they say, okay, this is where I was. Now I've gone through this bank-on and this is where I am. You too, if you follow this program, if you take ownership, if you listen to the education, you too. So don't forget, I don't care how old you are, even if you're in your 90s, it's still not too. I didn't say you were. I said even if you were 6 feet under. 6 feet under.
I like the 6 feet under part. No, okay, I knew she wouldn't be nice.
All bad habits can end. All you have to do is put a period behind them. Nothing bad happens forever unless you fail to put a period at the end of it. So if you have bad habits, if you don't know how to manage your money, this program gives you the opportunity to correct those bad habits. All of us have a bad habit in something. And so it just depends on what it is. But this program gives you the opportunity to put a period at the end of bad financial habits. We teach credit. We teach credit responsibility. So a lot of times people may not have known how their credit got bad. They may not know how to establish credit or how to go about reestablishing credit. How do I get something off my credit report that is not mine? We talk about those things, and so nothing bad continues unless you fail to address it.
So it's not just lecturing.
Oh no.
It's really good, practical.
Absolutely.
Right. Part of the bank-on, individuals have homework assignments, and that we don't want you to hear this information and go away and life happens. We want you to hear this information, apply it, and continue to apply. So that's why we have that homework in there, and that's accountability.
Okay, we've accountability. Here's that word again.
Yes, empowerment too. Don't forget, we're going to empower you to do the right thing.
Absolutely.
And it also helps with regards to some of the skill sets and some of the coaching they're getting coming into the bank and now being, if you want to say, more intelligent, having a greater aptitude around how to do banking, how to have a conversation with the banker, and really kind of walking through what are some of the needs that they may have in terms of developing a relationship with the bank.
I got to set the record straight here because I'm not that big. I mean, I'm not 90 either, but it's really cool, and it's really rewarding because I have one of those bank accounts where you go online, you can see everything. And it used to be I got close to payday and it was like, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Because of habits that I had. And it's so cool to go on now and see that money that was hidden in the savings account is still there. I haven't had to go into it. And so those are the kind of rewards?
Yes, as stated earlier, that match savings. So we found out that a lot of times the emergency fund is about $300. So with the match savings, the individual have 10 months to save at least a minimum of 150. Well, then we have that match savings of 150. So you are now your own banker that you can lend the money to. That's why I stated your CEO, your accountant, you can start borrowing money for yourself for emergencies.
Okay, and I'm going to say this, and if you're looking for a good bank, who do you work for?
SunTrust.
I want to say thank
And
you.
we do have several community partners.
Exactly.
We
Start
have
mentioning
several
them.
community partners. We have Town Bank, we have SunTrust, we have Queen Street Baptist Church, who's hosting our first class, and we are looking for other organizations who want to partner with us, other locations who have locations that would allow us to hold classes there, individuals who are interested in learning how to be coaches. This is a program that is not just for folks in poverty. It is a program for individuals who say, you know what? I don't know how to manage my money, and I'm tired of not knowing how to manage my money. And maybe I can't go to my mom or my sister or my best friend because I'm embarrassed. But I can go to these people, and even though they're strangers, they won't be strangers for long, and they will help me to be a better me from a financial perspective.
Well, we have spent 15 minutes, and I know you're not strangers, and I feel so much better, so
Thank you.
sign me up.
Okay,
Thank you.
excellent.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for joining us.
Okay.